Where am I supposed to go? Where am I supposed to meet her at? I don't... It's all closed off here. Phaedra! Phaedra! Where you at? Get it. She said to meet her here. She said to meet her here. There's nobody here. I wonder if she's just late, but there's supposed to be a whole crew here. You would think they'd be set up. She said they were filming this morning. Where is everybody? This is freaking weird.
God, don't go in there, it's haunted.
I wouldn't go in there, it's haunted.
You impious things, you unclean things, you reporters, all of you, out! I say out of my house now!
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Talk Jeff City. I'm Josh Harmon. How's everybody doing this week? We are coming to you this week with the monologue from Osage County. I heard some chatter online that said the only time a video camera ever shows up in Osage County is when something bad happens. So, Lois Yeagers, don't worry. You're not going to be sheriff again. Not right now. We'll save that for later. But anyway, so we're down here in Osage County to do the monologue. One thing that came up in the show is when we say Talk Jeff City, we mean the entire area. We don't just mean the actual city limits of Jefferson City, although we'll do a lot of shows and we'll primarily talk a lot about Jeff City. Everybody that lives in these areas like Lynn and California and Eldon, those people, you know, work and play in Jeff City. You all are a part of the community. It's not just bound by city limits. So we want to include you all in the show, want you all to join us and be a part of the community. It's one big community. It's not just defined by city limits. We're not City Hall. So we can stretch that out a little bit further. But we're coming to you from Osage County and talking more about people that are not from the exact Jefferson City area, but in the surrounding area. Fulton native Jim Howe was invited to Kennebunkport, Maine to sing for the Bushes, both George Sr. and GW, which it doesn't matter what you think about the presidents and what they did as a job for our country, they still are past presidents, and that's pretty cool when you get invited to their house to sing. I mean, I wish I'd just get invited to the mayor's house to sing, but evidently my carpool karaoke wasn't good enough. I mean, you don't even have to be a celebrity. I'll come sing in your home. Brian Stumpy, do you need me to come over to your house and sing while you play accordion? I'm available. That is a great honor, and proud of him for that. I was trying to determine who was more excited for that, Jim or Christina, but who knows. Anyway, they've also got some great chicken if you ever get up there. Some good food and some jalapeno cornbread. Hey, Christina, that was a plug, so you're going to send me a whole pan, right? The other thing that happened this week that was great is football season is back. The NFL, they're still in preseason, but we had football Friday night, and there was football in mid-Missouri, which is always a good thing. I just have one little problem, though. There's one reason why I like football season. It involves beer and barbecue and all kinds of good snacks. But evidently now at some of the stadiums, we're bringing healthy snacks in. So, I mean, that's good. We probably need to do that and all, but really, I want some good barbecue, some big tall glasses of beer. But we're bringing the healthy snacks, so that made the news. Just what we need, healthy snacks and football. You know, the other thing that happened this last week, and I'm breathing a big sigh of relief, and I just couldn't wait for it to happen, is school is finally back in session. You know how when you drop your kids off at kindergarten and first grade, you're holding their hand, you walk them to their classrooms? Nope, not me. We kick them out the door, 8th grade. Say, see you when you get home. I know that's awful, but you know how expensive it is to have these kids at home for the summer, all the food they eat and air conditioning they soak up? I was definitely ready for school to start back up again this year. We have a special visitor in town. We have somebody from our sister city in Germany visiting this week, and I think I saw a Facebook post and a comment out there that evidently in our sister city in Germany, I wish I would have known this before I did my interview with the mayor, but evidently they have given her a nickname. And so we should start calling the mayor the Party Munson Mayor, which stands for the Party Mouse Mayor. I think that fits appropriately and is absolutely hysterical that they keep up with the mayor and have nicknames for it. I was also told that there was a nickname for Mayor Landwehr, that he was, and excuse me while I look down because I can't pronounce this, he was the Alterbergmeister Mayor, which means the old mayor. He just needed a top hat when he went around town and a cane. He had to fit that role just perfect. But no, we love Mayor Landwehr. We love our mayors. At least they're to the point of getting decent nicknames, not the nicknames that we would give somebody like, say, Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. I'll pause for a moment while you insert your own joke. If you have a smaller home-based business, we are looking for you. Odium Social and Talk Jeff City are having a small business mall on Small Business Saturday, November 26th. This is going to be a huge community event and generate great traffic. End 2016 on a great note and expose your business to a much larger customer base for a great start to 2017. Booths are going fast, so hurry and contact Odium Social today. Are you looking for a treat the whole family will love? Head east on Highway 50 to Lynn and visit the folks at Popcorn Buddha. Incredible craftsmanship goes into making the great custom flavors of popcorn. They also sell homemade fudge. They have great gift bags and tins if you're looking for a gift to give someone special. So go to Lynn and visit Popcorn Buddha, right next to break time. So we've got a little bit of a different show for you this week. As most of you know, if you follow my Facebook page, on a whim, just for part of the show, just to kind of learn some things and do something different, I went down to the Baymont Hotel last Sunday and went to an open casting call for a movie they're filming here in Jefferson City called Darkness Reigns. It's a full legit Hollywood movie, Hollywood casting directors, Hollywood director. I mean, people coming in from LA. It's really a cool thing. But anyway, I went to an open casting call, just no expectations. I didn't even read anything ahead of time, didn't do anything, just showed up to kind of see what the process was like so I could talk about it on the show. And lo and behold, I ended up getting cast as an extra in the movie. It's pretty cool. I can't wait till the movie comes out. We're also going to be talking to other people from the movie, and our guest this week is the casting director from the movie. But we had a lot of fun with it, and so I hope you enjoy this interview. It's pretty cool, and a lot of good things going to be happening for Jefferson City, as you'll find out in this interview. Hope you all enjoy. So we're here today with Phaedra Harris, with Phaedra Harris Casting, and you are in Jeff City, our lovely fair town.
I love it out here. Love the people. I'm getting used to the weather because it's a little hotter than even California. I think it's the humidity.
It's definitely the humidity. So is this your first time out here?
It is. It is. And we came out a few years ago to do another film called Haunting of Cell Block 11, but I didn't get a chance to come out. I cast from Los Angeles and did everything from my home.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you do like it here?
Oh yeah. Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean, we want to know what people think when they come from the outside, especially what we call the fancier areas.
Nothing fancy about me.
Well, but the area,
like
the big city, you know.
Yeah. But I do like it out here. I love the people. I love the hospitality that we've been shown. Love the restaurants. I love Eris. That's what I've been eating at every day.
The rest of us could eat Eris's every day too.
It's so good. I was doing pizza for a while, but then I was like, I'm gonna try this place.
Yeah, it's Eris's. We've got a few local gems, but as I joke of on my show, we're turning into a pizza and Mexican restaurant only town.
I haven't had Mexican food out here at all. I had bandanas, which was really good too, by the way. So, yeah, I want to give them a shout out.
We have a lot of Mexican restaurants. It seems like another one pops up every day. We only have one real authentic one, but
really, I'm gonna have to start looking for them.
There's actually one right if you take a left at this stoplight here, and there's a little plaza. If you go on down past all the lights down there, about maybe half a mile or so down there, and it's called Mi Pueblo Bakery, and it's pretty good.
I'll have to check it out.
They're real good. So you come to Jeff City to do the casting for the movie, and what are your first impressions when you get out here and see the people coming in for auditions?
Well, my first impression was there's a lot of people. There's a lot of dinner theater because that's how I met most of the people that are in the film from the local dinner theater from Capital City
Players.
Capital City Players, and it was another theater group that was referred to me. I can't remember. It's in my notes.
Little Theater.
That's what it was. Most of those guys. I mean, my background, I love theater. I do mostly TV and films, but I love theater. So it was great to meet those guys, and I thought, what a great group of talented people, interesting faces, great choices. I mean, we had several choices for each of the roles, and it was kind of difficult to pick and choose who we were going to use. But it was we had choices. We had a lot of fun, a lot of interesting people, and it was a very talented group.
Okay, so you're saying I can go back to my friends and say there were several choices for my role, and I wasn't the bottom of the barrel, like, this is the last guy that'll do it? Because that's what my friends will say. They're like, man, they got
That's
desperate.
not what happened. We literally had for the role of Aaron, for the role of Aaron, we had like 3 choices that we could use, and we ended up using Ford Fanta, and just because he was just so rich and juicy, and he had all these nuances. And a lot of times when you're casting, people always think it comes down to talent, but it also comes down to how people look together, how the group of actors look together. And a lot of the actors were starting to look alike, so we had to go try to get a little blonder, someone that was clean shaven, someone without a beard, someone with a beard. You know, all those things come into play when you're putting together an ensemble cast.
So there was an advantage to shaving off all my facial hair.
We had a lot of guys with beards.
I had one till 3 weeks ago when I started doing this show.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I'm going to be doing this. Nobody else on TV that does this has facial hair, so you have to clean up.
I think it's a new thing. I mean, all the sports guys, they're all getting these scruffy beards, and all the actors now are starting to have these beards. I'm like, okay, I like a good beard, but beards are everywhere now. Yeah, so everybody had a beard. And we had one of the leads in the film, we had to ask him to shave his beard so he wouldn't look like the other guys. But it was a lot of choices and a lot of good, talented people. I love Melissa. I love Shay Marie. I mean, it's just so many good actors out here. This one kid, God, what's his name? What's his name? James Packer. He gets killed off pretty easy soon in the movie, but he's so freaking amazing. He was just, we knew instantly that he was our guy. I mean, he was just so good. But we had a lot of choices. We had a lot of fun out here doing the casting.
Well, I just want to make sure I have that on tape for everybody, because everybody's like, they picked you. What? This is what's going to represent our town.
It's terrible.
But no, that does lead me into the next part, because I mean, one of the things when I came and auditioned that Sunday, it was, I mean, I did a little bit of stuff in high school, not much, but I have done zero since then, acting wise, and so. When I started doing this show and so forth, I said, heard about the casting. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go just see what it's like, see what it's about. I'd never been in that situation before to try out for anything.
How'd you like it?
It was very interesting.
Was it intimidating?
Well, it's not intimidating for me, but I don't tend to get so intimidated, especially when you're not going there trying to get a role.
Right.
And I'm sure that's probably what helped.
Right.
That I'm not...
That you're free enough to just be yourself and do your thing. Yeah.
I was just there to see, and so forth. So, I had no expectations, didn't think anything was going to come of it, when I went in there. I just wanted to go see what it was about. We'll be right back with more of the interview from Phaedra Harris right after a word from our sponsors. Big shout out and thanks to Jefferson City Autoplex and Nathan Hayes. He is not only making car buying great again, but they supplied the 2016 Nissan that we used in the show today. What a great car. Nathan has you covered by being able to sell 4 brands of cars, and he has incredible customer service, which is why he is #1 in referrals. Stop in at 3219 Missouri Boulevard or call 573-644-6033 to set up an appointment. Odium Social, a social media marketing and management firm, provides content development and publishing across all forms of social media and specializes in the promotion of small businesses in the area. They also provide promotion for charity events such as the De La Cruz Benefit Car Wash. Odium Social is also an integral part of Small Business Mall 2016 to be held in conjunction with Small Business Saturday. We'd like to thank our sponsors. Now more of the interview with Phaedra Harris. I did do some, little research. My favorite thing to do is to YouTube anybody that I'm going to get on the show. But I did see some stuff where you have like boot camps or whatever.
I do.
Talk a little bit about these boot camps and stuff.
Well, I started off doing a class at my church for people that wanted to learn how to be in the business. A lot of people are not rappers or basketball players or football players, but there's other avenues that you can earn a living. So I thought, how can I serve at my church? So I started teaching a drama ministry, and it kind of grew into this whole acting class, how to audition, because my specialty, because I'm a casting director, how to get the job. And so I was trying to show actors what they do in the casting room when they go to audition for a job, what they do wrong, and then I figured out how to help them figure out what to do right for them. So I run a school in Woodland Hills, California, where I live, called the Audition Lab. And it's just a series of what to do when you're trying to get a job, or what to do as an actor to try to figure out who you are and to just learn how to be yourself, because most people don't know that when they come to audition, we're really looking for you. But if you're trying to be Halle Berry, or if you're trying to be Meryl Streep, or you're trying to be someone else other than you, it's unauthentic, and we can tell that it's not authentic, and we want you just to be you. So I try to help people learn how to be themselves.
Well, that's kind of neat too. I mean, like I said, in addition to that, like you said, you started in the church, what you could do, in your church, and your church is your community. I mean, that's kind of the same thing, like with doing this TV show, although, where you had experience in what you were doing for your community. I had no experience.
I had no experience when I first started. I just knew I wanted to serve in my church, and I wasn't choir material. So I'm like, how can I serve? I didn't want to be a deaconess.
Carpool karaoke's out?
No, that's not going to work for me.
Oh,
that's not my gift. That's not my purpose. But I wanted to serve, so I knew about acting. I knew about auditioning. I knew about actors, and so I figured if I can share that with people. It started off with 4 kids in my church, and we did it for 7 years. And by the time I left and was opening classes near my home, because my church is 35-40 minutes away from my house. By the time I just started doing it near my home, and we had 150 kids in there. Some were on Broadway, some were on soap operas, some were in movies, some had their own TV series, and and I just realized that that's my purpose, that's my gift, is to help actors find their way, help young people discover what they want to do and how to get there.
That is absolutely cool.
Yeah.
One of the conversations we had the other day that I want to get into and talk about, well, wasn't really a conversation you were having with me, but I eavesdropped and worked my way into the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You started talking about, getting more movies to this area, because you did like the area and so forth, and what other areas do to get the movie industry back, by giving credits and so
tax
forth.
Tax incentives and credits and
tax and everything. But I think a lot of people, for instance, if we were to start talking about that here in our community to help build the community, they don't really understand how much behind the scenes goes into making a movie and how much it would benefit a community to have these things come back. So if you could kind of talk about that a little bit,
Well, what happened was basically Atlanta, they started giving a tax incentive for people. For every dollar you spend, they'll give you some money, 35 cents on the dollar or something like that, to come back to Atlanta to shoot. And when you're in Hollywood and you have to fly actors out, DPs out, and things like that, it's an incentive to bring people to your state or your city. Because sometimes you go there because the story requires you to be in Atlanta, and sometimes you go there because it's a little cheaper on your film. Like here, we've got great locations. Amazing locations. Like where else could you find that haunted hotel? It literally looks haunted. It scares the crap out of me. To be able to get that kind of value, production value, so inexpensively, was worth it to us to fly actors out and to fly me out and to fly the director and producers out. So it was worth it to us. But but you have to have some type of tax incentive normally to get this many people to come out. And places like Atlanta, the state of Georgia, Louisiana, they have great tax incentives where they give producers a certain amount on a dollar if you spend money in hotels, if you hire locally, if you eat in restaurants, you rent cars, you fly in, they'll give you some type of incentive for doing that. And I think it's good for the community. They had this great tax incentive in Michigan not too long ago. I think the governor ended it recently, but they were giving a 50% tax credit, and they had all these TV series just bombarding them to shoot down there because it's a great location, and you can get great different locations inexpensively because of a lot of abandoned houses, and it could double for New York, it can double for Baltimore, it can double for all these other cities, and and you can bring community and work to your. You can bring work and interesting, exciting things to your community because you're flying in all these actors, you're putting them up in hotels, and they're living there for months. They're eating in restaurants, they're going to churches, because they're there. I've been here for 2 weeks, and I've been going to church at the hotel. There's a little chapel in the hotel. And the pastor comes in, he does like a 20-minute service. It's still church, but it's not like my church where there's music and a lot of mingling and stuff. But it's still church. At least I get a chance to spend some time with God. But you're getting people into the community. And now, since I've been here for 2 weeks, I've been driving around for the last 2 days. I'm thinking about buying a house here.
That's cool.
It reminded me so much of Detroit, the big lawns and, the greenery. And I'm like, I just felt like it was home. And now I know what my director, Andy Jones, who came out and shot the first one, he was like, I just feel like I belong there. If my wife would move here, his wife is an actress also, and her career is in Los Angeles. But what I do, I can do from anywhere because I go on location anyway. And he was like, I would love to live here. I would love to have a house here. And I just started driving around and looking in the neighborhoods. And I'm like, oh my God, I love this place so much. It reminds me of Detroit. I could have we lived in a suburb and we had this big yard and, lots of a quarter of an acre. And I'm like, I could get that out here. And if I bought it in California, it'd be like $2 million. Seriously. Seriously, but that's what we have to pay to live out there. Because so much work is out there for me, it works out. But now that I'm established in my career, I've been doing this for 36 years.
36 years? Get out of here.
Yeah, 36 years.
How do you do it for 30? Because you're probably only, 30? So
I'm 32.
Okay,
I started 4 years before my parents had me.
Okay, I'm trying to figure that out.
It was 36 years in April.
What are some of your coolest and favorite projects you've worked on?
I love all of my children.
Okay, we can't say that. Everybody has a favorite child. We don't love them equally.
I do love, there was something special about Cool Runnings. I loved that movie.
I didn't know you did that. That's awesome.
I loved What's Love Got to Do with It. I loved The Fifth Element. But there was something special about Cool Runnings. There was something special about Second Chance Christmas, the movie I just did 2 years ago. It just felt so family. Like the very first film I did with Andrew Jones, the director of this movie, was called Kings of the Evening. We shot that in Texas, in Austin, Texas. And I was there for like a month and a half. And there was something really, really special about that. Other than just the movie, our friendship became a real friendship instead of just employee-employer.
So did you all enjoy that interview with Phaedra Harris? She was an absolute blast to talk to and a great interview, but even more than that, she has been incredibly cool to hang out with this last week. It's also been really cool to hang out with Casper Van Dien and all the other actors and people that have come in from Hollywood to work on this movie. The makeup and special effects guys. I know the makeup guy, I think he worked on the series Grimm. He just had some really cool stuff. There was some neat stuff. I can't wait till you see the movie. Guys with crater holes in their chest and almost making it look like they were decapitated and blood coming out. I'm not a big horror movie fan, but this was a legit thing, and it was very cool to be a part of. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the show. Normally with our show, we allow the guests to pick our nonprofit that we're going to spotlight each week. This week, however, since we've been interviewing Phaedra Harris, and she's not from this area, we had some very serious and sad news happen over the weekend. And so without mentioning, getting into the details of it, in response to a lot of the Facebook posts and a lot of the social media outpouring, I wanted to do a 3-minute spotlight on what we can do to be able to help people who are struggling with depression and mental illness and thinking about suicide. So I wanted to get that together. We've got a little segment put together for you in what we could get done right before the show, but I hope everybody takes it to heart. There's some classes out there, some things that as a community we can do and take part in to be able to recognize when somebody's struggling with depression and mental illness, to get them their help and to prevent these tragedies from happening. Because even though a person feels like they may not be loved and nobody cares about them, especially in this day and age, everything seems so fake with Facebook posts and so forth, and seems like an afterthought, that there are people out there that care about you and are sad when you're not here. So take a few minutes and really pay attention to this segment. There's a lot of important things here that we can do as a community and rally behind. My Facebook newsfeed was again today filled with overwhelming sadness as word spread of a suicide in our community. Reading all the typical responses of, "They were so special and loved. I should have seen the signs. We were just laughing and talking the other day." It is the exact same response every time something like this happens, whether it be a local person or a national celebrity. I have had friends touched by suicide, and I have had friends also saved by the help of others. In general, though, when we see the number posted for a suicide hotline, we just glance over it. When somebody reaches out for help, we don't recognize it. So, for those of you that have had the responses above and want to know what you can do, there are things you can do. I spoke with Pam Phelps today with the Callaway County Health Department, and they have a group called the Callaway County Medical Reserve Corps that is very active in the area of suicide prevention and intervention. They are a working member of Greater Mid-Missouri chapter of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. They also hold quarterly meetings that involves input from both law enforcement, schools, faith-based organizations, just the whole community gets together and talks about what they can do to prevent suicides. They provide education through the Talk Saves Live program and ASSIST, which is the Applied Suicide Intervention Skills Training. And they hold events like the Out of the Darkness Walk and the National Survivors of a Suicide Lost Day. I urge everyone to call the Callaway County Health Department at 573-642-6881 and sign up for one of their classes. They have 2 available. One is a 6-hour class on the psychological first aid, and there's a second class which is called QPR, which is Question, Persuade, and Refer, which is a 2 to 4 hour class. It is sad that it takes events like this in our community to promote action. Callaway County is very organized with their education and approach to this topic, and it was prompted by 4 suicides in a 39-day span in 2011. Since 2012, they have trained over 500 residents, and this number needs to be higher. The more people that get trained, the more lives we can save. There are also online and Facebook support groups you can join to learn more about what you can do to help. The ones mentioned to me were a Facebook group called Suicide Prevention and Survivors Support Messages for Hope, or you can call 1-800-273-TALK. There's also the National Institute of Mental Health and the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. The fact is, it's sad. The fact is, as sad and as sorry as we may be, we need to train and learn to prevent this from happening more in the future.